Midland, Odessa, and Big Spring. This is ABC Big 2 News at 10.
Now at 10, the boil water notice in Odessa has been rescinded tonight. City leaders made the announcement during a press conference shortly after getting water test results back today.
I am pleased to announce that as of 2:03 this afternoon, the City of Odessa has lifted that boil water notice.
The city's public water system is now deemed safe to use for all traditional purposes. All of this comes after a major water line failure on Monday on 42nd Street that led to no water. In some parts of the city, the outage lasted 3 days. The city said the valves were not functional and the faulty valve in question was installed back in 1953. That's what's led to the city's water system going offline. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Rob 2. Things are looking up now. The city had to test the water too, and those results came back clean today.
We have now replaced that failed valve. We have completely repaired the leak fracture where the pipe occurred, and so we are back to a complete system. We are making efforts to try and stay ahead of or get ahead of these things, but we never know exactly where a line is going to break and that type of thing. We have hundreds of miles of cast iron pipeline that's been put in for decades and decades. We typically look at what lines are showing breakage the most and try to hit on those. Funding is an important thing, and the council has provided funding based on the master plans that we have developed in recent years.
Now, the city also thanks all those who were involved, from the food vendors who helped the workers stay energized to the city employees and agencies who worked tirelessly to fix that leak. Taking a live look now from our Midland Tower cam, it was a nice day to be outside and the sun wasn't hiding. We can expect that heat to stick around for a bit. Joining us now with the check in our forecast is ABC Big 2's Bridget Sarpong. Hi, Bridget.
Hey, Rob. I hope you enjoyed today. I sure did, because today it was hot, but it wasn't too hot. Our highs made it all the way up to 94 degrees. Usually around this time in June, we're definitely used to 96-degree temperatures. And you know what? Not too hot because, hey, taking a look at 1951, we did see that triple digits at 107 degrees. I'll have more of this forecast later on the show. Back over to you, Rob.
Thank you, Bridget. Also tonight, more flight cancellations are racking up. This weekend alone, more than 3,000 cancellations and 8,000 delays have been reported across the country. Now, staffing shortages are complicating a busy travel weekend, and some airports are facing a third day of chaos. Travelers are being forced to deal with it. Here's ABC's Andrew Dimbert with those details.
For the third day in a row, air travelers across the country are dealing with delays and cancellations.
The first notification said your flight's delayed. The very second text was, actually, it's canceled.
By early Saturday afternoon, hundreds of U.S. flights were delayed and canceled, according to FlightAware. This comes on the heels of more than 1,400 U.S. flight cancellations on Friday, thousands more delayed. The hardest hit airports, Boston, Charlotte, all New York City area airports, as well as Dallas and Atlanta.
We sat on the tarmac here for 2 hours because there was no gate.
Some of this travel chaos is due in part to pilot and air traffic control staffing shortages, leading to fewer flights and longer lines. Many flights were also grounded as severe weather pushed through the Northeast on Thursday, causing a ripple effect of cancellations and delays.
The industry is just stretched to the breaking point, and instead of bending when something bad happens, it just snaps and falls apart.
The number of travelers is also on the rise, especially as the summer travel season kicks into high gear. The TSA says it screened more than 2.4 million travelers nationwide on Friday. That's the highest checkpoint volume since the Sunday after Thanksgiving in 2021. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg met with airline executives earlier this week to discuss how to prevent widespread cancellations and delays ahead of the July 4th holiday. Sources tell ABC News Buttigieg stressed airlines must improve customer service and reliability.
And that was Andrew Dimbert reporting. Now, interestingly, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg had his own flight canceled shortly after meeting with airline CEOs. And at last check, JetBlue had 48% of flights delayed, while Delta had the most cancellations for American carriers with more than 240. 3 travelers were attacked with a knife at San Francisco International Airport. It happened in the international terminal Friday night. Airport police said the suspect attacked passing travelers with a long knife. At one point in this video, you can see that weapon. 3 people had cuts and scrapes. The suspect was taken into custody. Their identity and motive, his identity, or the attacker's identity and motive isn't known yet. Now, 2 people were killed and 10 others injured Friday night after 2 boats collided in Florida at an island, near an island town a few miles southeast of Miami. A Coast Guard spokesman said there were 2 boats and all the people were launched out of their boats. It's not clear yet what led to the crash. Now, 2 people were killed in a small plane crash just outside of Phoenix today. The FAA says only 2 people were on board of a Cessna aircraft. The crash happened northwest of the Buckeye Municipal Airport, an airport with 40 hangars that offers services like flight instruction, skydiving, and glider rides.
Oh, that's such a tragedy.
One of the most critical times, especially when it's hot, it's humid. Airplanes don't have a lot of lift, and because of that, one of the most dangerous times is when you first take off if you pull out of ground effect too quick.
And in Philadelphia, several firefighters got trapped in a building that collapsed on top of them. These Philadelphia firefighters were fighting a fire at a commercial building early this morning. 6 people got trapped when the roof caved in, 5 firefighters and 1 LNI inspector. 1 firefighter was killed. The others were rushed to the hospital. And developing now at 10 o'clock, we are getting new details tonight about the Uvalde school shooting. We are now learning that a Uvalde City police officer armed with an AR-15 style rifle reportedly hesitated when he had a brief chance to shoot the gunman before the gunman entered the school. This comes as bipartisan efforts continue on gun reform and what President Biden is now saying. Here's ABC's Zoreen Shah.
Tonight, sources telling ABC News a Uvalde police officer armed with an AR-15 rifle had the chance to take a shot at the gunman before entering the school, but did not open fire out of fears he may injure children. The New York Times first reporting that decision, saying officers saw the gunman shooting outside Robb Elementary School, but initially thinking shots were directed at them. The officers said they took cover behind a police car and held off shooting back, a chief sheriff's deputy telling the Times. According to the officers, they didn't engage back because in the background there was kids playing and they were scared of hitting the kids. This as protesters today continue to demand answers. President Biden today weighing in on the push for gun reform.
I am happy with progress. I'm prepared to sign it, and I'm ready to go.
A bipartisan group of senators now working on legislation after agreeing on a framework, including strengthening background checks. But some Republicans are concerned about red flag laws and the so-called boyfriend loophole. Senator John Cornyn, the lead Republican negotiator, says if they can settle on those 2 issues, they are on their way.
So you might ask, what is on the table?
But Cornyn loudly booed while speaking at the Texas Republican Convention Friday.
That was Zoreen Shah reporting. Now, Texas officials are holding panels investigating what happened that day. Those hearings will pick up again next week. And the big question is whether the Uvalde police chief will testify. Also developing tonight, the CDC is recommending the Pfizer and Moderna COVID vaccines be given to infants as young as 6 months through preschoolers. The decision came about after 2 days of meetings that were open to the public. That recommendation is expected to be signed off this weekend. The White House expects vaccinations for children under age 5 to begin on Tuesday after the Juneteenth federal holiday. Nearly everyone in the country is now eligible for a COVID-19 vaccination.
And well, friends, a warm day for plenty of community outdoor activities that took place in the high 90s. With Juneteenth and Father's Day around the corner, will the heat continue to stay hot? You'll have that answer after the break.
And coming up, a round of golf takes a wild turn and ends in a couple of arrests. Just who led police on this bizarre chase? Also coming up, we have highlights from the Diamond, a tough day for Texas teams. See why next.
The Stanley Cup Final continues on ABC and ESPN+. Get views like no other here in the Basin. Check out our live Roofs by Nicholas Skytracker camera network on ABC Big 2 News or yourbasin.com. ABC Big 2 has the views for you.
We are excited to announce that the Oil Patch Kids Invitational Golf Tournament will be held this year at Hogan Park Golf Course on July 22nd and 23rd. This is a two-person scramble benefiting foster children and other children at risk in the Permian Basin. To register for this great cause, visit us online at oilpatchkids.org or contact Kathy, Kaylin, or Susan for more information about the tournament. The Oil Patch Kids Invitational Golf Tournament. Become a true West Texas hero by registering today.
Oh, love that Chevy Blazer. That's our next SUV. Love that Equinox. That's our next SUV.
Nice Trailblazer.
It was love at first sight. What?
The Chevy family of SUVs. Find new options. Find new roads.
Well-qualified buyers can get 1.9% financing on most 2021 and 2022 Chevy SUVs when you finance with GM Financial. New models are arriving daily. Secure yours today. Chevy drives Texas. Find new roads.
Celebrate the freedom of a great night's sleep and save big during the July 4th sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out the budget-friendly Summit Firm for only $299.99. Or score a Buena Vista Firm for only $449.99. Purchase a Tempur-Pedic and get a $300 gift. Plus 5 years no interest and free shipping. Don't miss the July 4th sale. On now at Denver Mattress.
The new GMC Sierra. Premium and capable. That's professional grade. Step up to GMC with 0% financing on Sierra models. Visit your Permian Basin GMC dealer.
Local Weather Authority forecast.
Well, good evening. Happy Saturday. And you know what? Taking a look at our Midland Sky Cam, everything is pretty calm. You know, some clear driving conditions earlier in the day. You know, the streets of Midland were filled because of the Juneteenth parade that went on. But now that it has cooled down in our current moment, thanks to Roofs by Nicholas, the only thing you can't see right now is or feel is that temperature. 86 for right now in this moment. Taking a look at our humidity, we are sitting at 27%. Our dew point 46, and our winds are traveling south-southeast at 11 miles per hour. Now, the sunset happened tonight at 8:57 p.m. and before that happened, we actually had some really warm temperatures. We came out at a high of 94 degrees. Usually around this time in June, we're definitely used to 96-degree temperatures. A warm day, but not a hot day, because in 1951, it was a hot day in the triple digits, sitting at 107 degrees. Taking a look at our lows, we did come in pretty warm for that. 72 degrees for our lows. Around this time in June, we're definitely used to 71-degree temperatures. It's definitely not too bad whatsoever in the Permian Basin. Speaking of the area, everyone pretty much sat up in their upper 90s. In Midland, Odessa, 96 degrees. In Big Spring, 98. Snyder, 96. In Seminole, 94. But down in Presidio, they sat in the triple digits at 100 degrees. Definitely not too bad whatsoever. Actually, the only area that did sit in their triple digits. So, a hot day in the Basin. Now, tomorrow morning is going to be a very mild kind of start. We will be starting it up in our 70s. You know, our winds will be traveling southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. At 8 a.m., we'll be still pretty warm, around 73 degrees. Then by noon, when most of us are coming out of church, we will be sitting at 87 for some sunny skies. And then for Juneteenth and for Father's Day, we will be sitting at a high of 95 degrees, very warm and, you know, pretty breezy for tomorrow. It's not bad whatsoever. In this moment, our winds are, you know, up in center, sitting in the double digits, 13 miles per hour in the middle of Odessa. In Big Spring, 10 miles per hour. Now, as we wake up, getting ready to start our day, we will be seeing our double digits, 11 miles per hour in Wink, 12 miles per hour in the middle of Odessa area, and in Big Spring, 11 miles per hour. I do want to bring our attention over into the evening around, you know, 6 p.m. That's when winds do begin to pick on up, 18 miles per hour in middle Odessa and 16 miles per hour in Big Spring. So definitely not too bad whatsoever. Then we get into our our Monday. That's when winds will continue to be present in the double digits. Now, tomorrow is going to be a hot day for all the Juneteenth activities and Father's Day activities. So be sure to stay hydrated, drink lots of fluids, limit outdoor activities, find shade, and wear some sunscreen. And while you are out enjoying, take a look at our allergy report. Our trees and our dust is sitting at a moderate level, while our grass and our mold are sitting at a low level. And then for tonight, in our 70s, mostly clear and breezy. And then for Juneteenth and Father's Day, we will be sitting at 95 degrees, very sunny and mild, Rob. It's going to be a great day for, a lot of different activities going on in the community tomorrow.
Absolutely, Bridget. There's no escaping the heat, so it's just time to embrace it, right?
Exactly.
Absolutely. Thank you, Bridget. Well, it was beautiful weather this morning at the I-20 Preserve and the Jenna Welch Nature Center in Midland County. The entire ABC Big 2 team was out there volunteering today. It's part of Nextstar's Founders Day of Caring, an opportunity for our station to be part of the community and a chance for us to break a little sweat. We helped complete an insectarium, cleaned up and laid down a lot of mulch in the butterfly meadow, and whacked a lot of weeds. Part of our tasks today included clearing out debris, laying rocks, picking up trash, and relining the trails with crushed granite. Now, the I-20 Preserve exists in Playa, a low-lying area of the basin, and of course, you can imagine the diversity of the ecosystem. This horny toad was out there under the sun with us. The preserve said it's a good sign to see a horny toad wherever you may be. It's an indicator of good environmental health and that the habitat is in good shape. And new at 10, talent and beauty dazzled the audience and our judges at this year's Juneteenth pageant here in the Basin. ABC Big 2's Bridget Sarpong and Tatiana Battle were just some of the judges at this event. It was sponsored by the Black Cultural Council of Odessa and Sheila Stevenson. This happened Friday at Blackshear Elementary, and this year's 2022 queens are Miss Juneteenth Cheyenne Brewster, Junior Miss Juneteenth Jayla Walker, and Little Miss Juneteenth Jazaya Love Jackson. Congratulations to you all. And caught on camera today, some bad golfing etiquette. No need to yell out for. You're going to see this car coming down the fairway. A golfer recorded this chase in Harris County, and now 2 young men are facing charges over that chase, which left that golf course all torn up. ABC's Micah Hatfield tells us how this chase started and why swimming trunks and an AK-47 were involved.
We're warming up before the round, and the last thing we kind of expected to see was after we hit a drive out and admiring the distance, of course, a Range Rover comes flying over the top of the hill.
Stunned, confused, amazed, you can only imagine what went through these golfers' minds Tuesday morning when they saw that Range Rover off in the distance bouncing around on the Cypress Lakes golf course. Not far behind, it's almost like out of a movie, a Precinct 4 deputy in pursuit. As Philip Morgan pulled out his phone to get this video he shared with Eyewitness News, his friend pointed the constable in the direction they saw the car fly by. Precinct 4 says the driver, 20-year-old Gray Martinez, ended up crashing the car in the Fairfield neighborhood. Sources close to the investigation say he got out with an AK-47 that he dropped in someone's front yard. Martinez was taken into custody, and reports indicate that he spit on the deputy. He did have a passenger in the luxury SUV as well, 19-year-old Trevor Passmore. He was also taken into custody and charged. Notice he's in a swimsuit in this photo taken by Precinct 4. Could be because sources say he was found in the swimming pool at his home. Fortunately, in this crazy series of events, no one was hurt.
It was the best start to a round of golf I've had in a long time. A lot more entertaining than my score usually is.
And now, your ABC Big 2 Sports.
Oh, that's a wild scene. All right, over to Tigers and the Rangers. First inning, Tigers down 1-0. Robbie Grossman rips a solo home run off Taylor Hearn, his first of the season. Game even at 1. 3 batters later, man on, Javi Bays launches a 2-run home run off Hearn, his 4th of the season. Tigers go up 3-1. Next batter, number 2 prospect in the major leagues, Riley Green, making his debut. Green drops in a single for his first major league hit. Green's teammates and family cheering him on. Awesome moment for him. Fourth inning, Tigers up 5-1. Miguel Cabrera singles up the middle. Willie Castro scores. Detroit up 6-1. Next batter, 2 on. Eric Haas rips a 3-run home run down the line, his third of the season. Haas goes 3-5 with 3 RBIs and finishes a triple shy of the cycle. Tigers win 14-7. And after a 13-3 win last night, Astros host the White Sox again. Third inning, no score, bases loaded. Luis Robert lines one off. Justin Verlander, 2-run score. There we go. Next batter, Jose Abreu lines it left for a double. 2 more runs score. White Sox go up 4-zip. Fourth inning, Chicago up 5-0. Robert back on the plate, 2 on. He doubles off Verlander. 2 runs come in to score. Robert with 4 RBIs in the game. White Sox up 7-0. Seventh inning, same score. Jordan Alvarez, well, he grounds one back to Johnny Cueto for a 1-6-3 double play. Cueto throws 7 scoreless innings. White Sox win 7-0. Some rap artists are landing in court and their lyrics are being used against them. What prosecutors are revealing after 2 rappers are now facing serious charges.
Hey America, it's Adrienne Bankert. I am so excited to wake up with you, have coffee with you, but if you need an earlier start, I totally get it. I got just the guy for you. Hey Mitch.
Hey Adrienne, and hello America. I'm Mitch Carr. Join me at 6 a.m., 5 a.m. Central for early morning.
And you can still stay tuned for Morning in America with me, Adrienne Bankert, at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, 6 Central.
Early morning starts June 27th at 6/5 Central, only on News Nation.
You're going to need this.
You can say that again.
At USAA, we've been called too exclusive because we were created for officers. But as we've evolved with the military, we've grown to serve all who've honorably served, no matter their rank or when they were in. A Marine just out of boot camp or a petty officer from 73, and even his kids and their kids. USAA is made for all who honorably served and their eligible family members. Are we still exclusive? Absolutely. And that's exactly why you should join.
She said she wasn't hungry. She only wanted a bite. But this isn't just a patty melt. This is a Whataburger patty melt, the all-time favorite, with 2 all-beef patties, Monterey Jack, grilled onions, and creamy pepper sauce. So 1 bite became 2, and 2 became mine. Just a bite, huh? Mark that one down as a lesson learned. The Whataburger patty melt, just like you like it.
When you have a big family like ours, you're always looking for a great value. That's why we bought our new home from A1 Homes. We traded in our mobile home and got a great deal on a new one. The best part, now another family can purchase our pre-owned home at a great price. A1 Homes can also help you find land and financing. They have homes perfect for any size family. A1 Homes, trade in, trade up, serving Midland and Odessa. Se habla español.
A1 is number 1.
A pair of top hip-hop artists are being charged with crimes, and prosecutors are building their cases using lyrics in those rap songs. It's bringing up question over what's protected under the First Amendment. ABC's Ashan Sinj reports on the new concern in court.
They're 2 of the biggest names in hip-hop. Atlanta rappers Gunna and Young Thug, responsible for dozens of chart-topping hits. But this morning, they find themselves at the center of a controversial debate in court. Should rap lyrics be used as evidence in the courtroom?
I told her stop telling that thing she seen and told her meet me at the Ritz.
Earlier this year, Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams, and Sergio Kitchens, known as Gunna, were arrested for allegedly participating in street gang activities and violating RICO law, accusing the men of using YSL, the Young Slime Life gang, to create havoc in our community. The group's YSL name, incidentally, also the name of Young Thug's record label. The rapper's lyrics, one piece of evidence prosecutors are using in the indictment.
I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that body.
The prosecution citing lyrics like that in the indictment as proof of criminal conspiracy.
I was also surprised at the extent to which lyrics seem to be a part of the prosecution and part of their early argument that he is involved in criminal activity.
But a growing petition, backed by big music industry names, has now received more than 40,000 signatures, pleading with prosecutors not to criminalize rap lyrics and protect black art. But some prosecutors argue there are no legal protections against using artistic speech of criminal activity in the courtroom.
The First Amendment does not protect people from prosecutors using it as evidence if it is such.
This as the New York State Legislature advances a first-of-its-kind bill pushed by Jay-Z and other hip-hop artists that would limit the use of rap lyrics in court as crime evidence. Though legal experts say there is strong precedent for the use of rap lyrics as courtroom evidence.
If there are facts in real life that hold a very close nexus to the lyrics that he articulated in that rap song, then he may have a very serious problem.
Some artists worried about what this means for rap's future.
And if we allow the courts to prosecute these men based on characters they've created and stories that pretend that they tell in rhyme, then next they'll be at your door.
Young Thug and Gunna are facing racketeering charges. Their attorneys told ABC News that they are innocent. Industry experts concerned about what they say is unfair targeting of rap lyrics as opposed to other music genres.
Rap music is the only fictional form, musical or otherwise, that is targeted this way in the courts.
Is it racist?
It's absolutely racist. Essentially what's happening is rap music is being denied the status of art.
Well, coming up, Father's Day is quickly approaching. The incredible gift one son gave his dad that saved his life. And as we head to break, a reminder that if you see news happening, share your videos and photos on social media with us. Make sure you use the hashtag ABC Big 2 News. And if you haven't done it yet, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We are ABC Big 2 News.
ABC Big 2 Sports, brought to you by Glasheen Vaez and Enderman Injury Lawyers.
Best Reviews is an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on just about everything.
Call that a plasma sword?
For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
Well, are we ready for this?
What's next, Grandma?
Hayden, do you want to cut the banana?
Okay, let's do it.
Look at him. Now comes the best part, the Bluebell ice cream. Oh, that's fun. Hey, how about some chocolate? And some sprinkles.
How's this, Grandma?
That looks so yummy. You know, your mom is gonna love this. Don't forget a spoon.
The on-demand world has made us all more demanding. Movies don't come out, they're just out. Even instant noodles aren't fast enough.
Hey, order ramen.
Ordering ramen.
So you need the power of complete connectivity with our award-winning internet combined with Optimum Mobile. Voted #1 in customer satisfaction. Get both for under $55 a month at suddenlink.com. Suddenlink is becoming Optimum. Let's reconnect.
Add me an Allison 10-speed transmission. Premium features available on GMC Sierra Heavy Duty. Step up to GMC with 0% financing on Sierra Heavy Duty models.
Visit your Permian Basin GMC dealer.
Our Father's Day sale is going on now at Cavender's. Men's Ariat Tech Polos are buy two, get one free. Plus, get 10% off Ariat casual shoes and $15 off Ariat Vintech boots. Going on now at Cavender's.
Finally tonight, a son's love for his father. What can you give the man who's given so much to you? For one son, he was able to give his dad a second chance at life. ABC's Whit Johnson has this story.
Jason James and his son Michael Evans have always shared a special bond.
I love him to the moon and back.
My dad's always been selfless. He's always taken care of us.
The pair inseparable from graduations to vacations until the family received some troubling news. Jason was diagnosed with polycystic kidney disease.
I started dialysis last year, August, because my kidney function in terms of percentage filtration went down to 4%.
That's when his 23-year-old son considered the ultimate selfless act, offering his dad the gift of life.
I saw that he was, going through that, and it's just terrible to see. So I thought about it immediately. He would definitely do more than a kidney for me. It means a lot to me.
Testing confirmed Michael Evans was able to become a kidney donor for his dad. Doctors at HCA Florida Largo Hospital Transplant Center performed a successful surgery. Following the transplant, the emotional reunion.
That's quick. I know you're my little social nigga.
You're doing great.
Jason taking his first steps after surgery.
Yay!
And returning home.
Praise the Lord. Thank you all.
Yes.
Just in time for a Father's Day they'll never forget.
What do I say to my son? Mike, you gave me a second chance at life. And that's the best thing a son could do for a father. I really appreciate and love you.
And that's a Father's Day gift that's going to be hard to beat in the years to come. Coming up after the break, Bridget will have one last look at the forecast. Stay with us.
Celebrate your freedom and style and save big during the July 4th sale at Furniture Row. Right now, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Plus 5 years no interest financing. The July 4th sale on now at Furniture Row.
That's a pretty tight spot.
Watch this.
Your Buick Park said so. That's so you. Of course you know where we're going. That's so you.
I got a 6 sense.
And a head-up display.
They're here.
You brought all these players in your Buick?
Yep.
So you.
It is.
At the heart of every Buick SUV is you. Pay no interest on Buick SUV models.
Visit your Permian Basin Buick dealer.
The Vineyard, Midland's premier master planned community, impeccable high-end luxury with resort-style amenities. These Silverleaf homes are located close to Green Tree Country Club and are walking distance to Faskin Elementary. Contact Alexa to schedule your private showing.
Dude, great ride, right? This Silverado keeps me connected and in control. And this touchscreen is my command center. My command center.
The 2022 Silverado LT. Find new control. Find new roads.
Well-qualified buyers can get 1.9% financing on all 2022 Silverado 1500 pickups. New models are arriving daily. Secure yours today. See your Permian Basin Chevy dealers.
When pain says it's time to go home, I say, not yet. Aleve, who do you take it for?
Celebrate the freedom of a great night's sleep during the July 4th sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Or check out the Summit Firm for only $299.99. Plus 5 years no interest and free shipping. The July 4th sale on now at Denver Mattress.
Well, let's take one last look at that 7-day forecast. Now, tomorrow is a very special day. It's Juneteenth, but also it shares the same holiday as Father's Day. So, you know what? Everyone can celebrate with the highs at 95 degrees in the morning. We're going to start off at 73. And then into the upcoming new week, we will be sitting, pretty close to average temperatures, sitting in the upper 90s. And then into Saturday, just when we thought that we were done with that triple-digit heat, nope. We're going to get back to that on Saturday. Very hot, very honey, sitting at exactly 100 degrees. And Rob, I'm excited. I kind of did miss that, triple-digit heat. Even though I complained about it just a little bit last week, I miss it now.
I don't know, Bridget. After today, no more yard work, no more being outside. Absolutely. And I think tomorrow is going to be perfect time to grill, be outside, be with family and friends.
Exactly.
All those important things. Of course, staying hydrated, the most important.
And wear your sunscreen.
Yes. Well, absolutely. Bridget, thank you. And That's all the time we have for news tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be right back here tomorrow at 10 o'clock. See you then.